So, in this video, I am going to talk about our startups and the recent trend that is happening around. So, we all know the examples of Zomato, Swiggy, Instamart, and the main theme that they ride over is the need of convenience by the customers and the rising income level in the urban part of the India. On the similar lines, one more category is being experimented by these startups, and that is in the house help segment. So what they are offering is this segment is completely fragmented, like it was when Uber arrived in India. The drivers were completely fragmented. They were not operating in a, say, a collective manner, or no company was in a monopoly state. So similarly, house helps, they are also very much fragmented. They operate independently, and the- they operate independently with contracts with the households, and this is the space that the startups are trying to penetrate into. And this may seem like a simple model that was already replicated in other segments like grocery delivery or food delivery, but let me give much more depth to this, and there are much more challenges in this segment than what you have thought of. The first of the challenge is mobility. Like Uber and Zomato, Blinkit, the gig workers have a vehicle that they ride, and through that they cover a huge span of territory. For example, Uber can cover a territory of 20 to 30 kilometer, having a radius of 20 to 30 kilometer. Even zomato and Blinkit gig workers, they cover an area of 5 kilometer radius. But for the case of domestic helps, they are generally women and they don't know how to ride. They generally do walking. So this restricts the area that can be covered by individual help works. So it's not about capturing a city, it's about capturing one apartment or one gated society by the startups. This was the first challenge. The next challenge is the the supply. In the gig economics, in gig work, for gig workers like Blinkit, Zomato, an urban company, these workers are looking for temporary works to improve their income. But that is not the case with house helps. They already have a work, already have a scheduled work, long term work with the households, that the relationship they have developed over the years, and it is very difficult to change their mentality, to move them out of their comfort zone, to bring them to the startups platform by promising them that they will be earning or benefiting much more if they come to this platform. So this is going to be a very big challenge. That was not the case with Zomato and Blinkits. The next challenge is the customer mentality, changing, shifting the perception of the customer. Here, the today the households prefer their long term workers who arrives on time, does the job, and does this every day. They don't want a temporary hires. And this segment that this startup is entering, this the use case will be generally like the mainly young bachelors who don't want long term commitments, and who want just who sometimes want such services. Also, the use cases can be new parents who want much who want much more jobs to be done by others, or who had immediate needs. Similarly, for the elders, this can be a use case, but still the size is very less and it is not that much penetrated also. So the total addressable market is still in the experimental stage, when the startups don't know the size of the market, and maybe they will get an understanding after 2 quarters from now. the fourth the fourth and the most important challenge of this of this industry is, for Zomato, Blinkits, they deliver the service or the product in your house, but they don't enter the house. But this category, the house helps, is going to enter your house, and the moment you are letting someone enter your house, you require a high level of trust and security. So will be a challenge to build this security on both side, for the side of the households as well as the side of the customers. Doing background verification for all the customers is very much difficult. There can be cases or uh, instances of manhandling and mishaps, which is a very great risk in this segment, because earlier it was not at all, because till now it is not at all regularized. So navigating these challenges is a very difficult task that these companies and startups are going to face, and it will be interesting to see whether they are going to be successful in this category or not, and how they are going to break this category. Thank you.